那我们现在就請下一位來自香港的陳秋慧。
Hi, my name is Esther. 我個名叫陳秋慧啊，我係嚟自香港。I'm from Hong Kong. So today I'm happy to share with you my project titled A Sense of Place, Roles of Sound, Defect, and Self. So before I begin, I would like to introduce my alter ego. Her name is Autumn. She's a former acoustic consultant and a classical guitar player. She's interested in two things. It's not hard to guess. Number one is just sound, and number two is the concept of acoustic defect. In my thesis, I continue to question the definition of these two things and the roles they may play in creating a sense of place. Since this project is about sound, to give you a taste, there's no point of listening to me talk and looking at a PowerPoint. I would like each one of you to take a moment of pause, close your eyes and listening to the following sound. Pay attention to the rhythm, the subtle change in loudness. Imagine waking up to this sound. How would you find the experience? Now is the recording sample from this instrument right there, installed in a window frame. But this instrument is not played by any human. The sound was produced by the wind, by the atmosphere. The subtle changes in wind rhythm and environmental forces were captured with this instrument and then amplified within the room. The project does not have a position at first, but was later concretized after 3 reflective exercises in 3 months. Now I will read aloud my position as my manifesto on sound. Our sense of place is a projection of our self-awareness, memories, past experience, and routines onto a physical space. I argue sound serves as a very important part of mental trigger. What we often perceive as noise, as a flaw, as a defect, what we actively isolate, unconsciously ignore should no longer be ignored. In this age of information explosion, in this time of listener regression, here I fight against the trend of becoming acoustic deaf. Here I bring back our innate sensitivity, once linked with place, with my creations of sound space. Part 1, Career Reflection. The project is coming out from the anxiety of designer. Building project in reality requires a very clear cut in the scope of work between the engineer and architect. However, this disassociates the multi-sensory nature of a human being, of a designer, creating more and more deaf architect and blind acoustician. We, as acoustician, we often treat sound as noises, as defective, and we easily resort to a universal solution to eliminate all the acoustic defect. From years of working, I observed that from designing a room, a theater, even with the city, generally follow the same protocol. We define the purpose of the place, establish design criteria, and we define what is wanted and unwanted. Do a survey out of it, apply a clean solution to clean all the defects and create a clean space, then finish the project. I argue such a problem solution approach overlooks the value of defect, the value of sound. It rips character off the space and creates more risk of proliferation of non-places, places without identity, places without significance. Here, I stop treating sound as defect, and I depart from my expertise and technical background. This thesis embarks a journey into dangerous water. Part 2, Diary. What is sound? City chapter. Dear Diary, have you ever been on a subway in Japan? People barely speak. The crowd is deadly quiet. I freeze and dare not move an inch for fear that my movement creates noises and nuisance to the very polite Japanese. Silence creates noises in my head, gives me anxiety. Noises in Hong Kong gives me as peace. What is sound? The sounds create a safe space. Dear Diary, 3 days ago I was wandering in Mongkok without a purpose. 3 days later I was able to recall all the events and spaces, location, and reconstructed a section of journey just by listening to the sound recording without any visual aids. Sound not just tells me about the spatial volume, material finishes, sense of distance and orientation. Sound and tell the sequence of events, routines, and happening in time and space. Is sound just information? Does this association automatically induce a sense of place without us noticing? Have we all unconsciously associated our experience with a certain sequence of sound? Dear diary, one night I was woken up by the blasting sound of the water heater. Now I learned that through the vibration of that wall, I learned that my memory relapsed into depression. My family relapsed into depression and was taking an extremely long bath. When we listen, have we unconsciously made any association with our past experience? Does this trigger refresh our memory and allows us what to anticipate when what's happening next and develop my anxiety? What is sound? If you ask a consultant in acoustic, he will advise you just to kill all the noises. Here I learned that sound not just plays an important part in that mental projection of sense of place. It cements an important part of that linking to our immediate surroundings. Path 3, experiment, sound spaces. Coming to the end of the thesis project is a series of studies in this instrument and asking how these instruments could be transformed into its responsive sound space structure to capture the environment, opening possibility to bring back our mental link with our immediate surroundings. So here I'm going to show you 2 examples of the spatial intervention with my instrument. Both are happening in the toilet shaft of my own home. The first one is the neighbor's pipe. This is developed from the whistling mechanism, but it's been redesigned to allow air to be directed from multiple directions and a farther distance, unlike a typical whistle where you have to press your mouth onto the mouthpiece. The concept is to activate the shaft to become a communal sound playing space, which is originally a non-place. The second one is the wind harp. The motion of the wind will cause the string to periodically push-pull and creates this vortex pattern. This pattern creates the tremolo rhythm that I just played at the very beginning. This instrument serves as a very important agent and medium to capture the outer environment and absorb into interior dwelling spaces, with the motive of linking us with the immediate environment, triggering mental link and induce a sense of place. As an ending note, this thesis presents a very important urgency of listener regression. A phenomenon of us becoming acoustically deaf as we are being overwhelmed in this information age. It's an important time we rethink the value of sound and conventional problem solution design protocol when treating sound in our built environment. Ending here with my last drawing exercise. Like I said before, this drawing, this project has no concrete position at first, but this drawing is a method to reflect my thesis question and a tool to anchor my thesis position on the relationship of sound with sense of place, relationship of defect with sense of place, relationship of the self with sense of place. Bear with me for just a few seconds. Okay. Thank you.
OK， 谢谢。接着我们请那个最现象性的曾伟老师先讲了，还是？
好，那个其实我觉得，就你的 project 来讲，因为大概在几年前，我跟 Thomas 在港大的时候，我们一起带了一个 studio， 也是做声音。那其实那个声音基本上对我来讲，那个是一个还蛮有趣的 project， 就是身体跟乐器、空间、声音之间的关系。那你用这个开始在 detect 你的环境，它是用风在弹奏的嘛，对不对？所以我觉得它有另外一种去 translate 一种看不到的东西到看得到，可以被 perceive。那另外你开始利用声音在谈场所这件事情，我觉得是有意思。但是我觉得最重要的事情不是在告诉我们这个场所有什么声音，因为我觉得你一直在 documents 这件事情。我觉得最重要的事情是你怎样去重新 deploy 这个声音跟感知跟空间之间的关系。那我觉得好像我觉得在目前为止好像就看到它进行到一个程度，东西都很 general， 我比较想 specific 知道，当你这个东西真的 apply 在建筑里面， 那它的状态会是什么？
Anyway, very elaborate work, very poetic, not only just poetic, but like Professor was saying to you, but you, how can I say, measure the, how can I say that, the structure of the sense of human being. You analyze very carefully. So basically, frankly speaking, to design the landscape is very, very difficult because you have to deal with the time, not only just the short time, but also kind of long time with using the memory or something. But your work contains not only short time, but also the long time with dealing the memory. So that's why I was so surprised how good it is. But I a couple of the simple question about that. That to deal with the sound, we have to think about the ground noise. How you are going to counter the ground noise, or how to use the ground noise to your project. So like here, you cannot control the sound of wind. You cannot control the kind of audience, the noise. So with getting such kind of, with accepting such kind of phenomenon, you have to create your own world with the sound. It's very difficult things. So relating these things, how do you deal with the sight itself? They are very rare, very small information about the site on your project. So that's the two things I was wondering. But basically, I like your project so strongly.
But for me, this project is not only consider the building as an instrument. Actually, it should have two different characters. One is the instruments, the other should be the filters, because you can create the sound, but also you got to demolish some of them in order you can get really good quality for some reason. So for me, it's kind of difficult to see her intentions through the project. Even though she has this kind of a cross-section, seems like create certain gap, then we all know the wind will blow and create some, sound in the way. And, since John Cage, the idea of a music has been changed. Anything can be music. So she cannot take advantage of that. She should be pushed forward to redefine his project. What kind of sound he would like to introduce into his buildings, then people can really appreciate it. For instance, like for me, I got a problem with sleeping. So I always listen to this, when the rain drops, it always coming down, help me to sleep, which is I like to involve within my space. So I think that must have some criteria she have to set up in order she can really design. Otherwise, it should become like a really wide and broad in a general introduction.
I completely agree with you, but I wish hear this kind of sort of comment, not from her, I think. How do you think about that? Just one comment, please.
Maybe just quickly 2 words. The reason why I started this piece is that my house is located in an extremely windy site. So I started to think it annoys me a lot of time, but I started to think how can I be able to use that thing, the wind, to translate into wonderful sounds that could allows me to connect with the wind and allows me to connect with the home and the site. So that's how I set up the project. Yeah, maybe we can continue the discussion later. Thank you.
好，谢谢陈秋慧同学。